Okay. You can hear that, right? Is that too loud? Or is it okay? Probably a bit loud, okay. Is that better? How's that? Bit more down? Okay. Is that better? Okay, good. Let me just update my stream title. Sense of deja vu, hi kimono. Yeah, Layton was not happy with me today, so we're gonna be continuing Ace Attorney instead. Let me just edit stuff. Where did I save my live thumbnail? Do I not have it here? I guess not. Editing where? Editing stream title. That's where. Okay, whatever. We'll just keep the thumbnail for now. I'll change it later. Okay, I think new game is what we want. Alright. Here we go. Episode 1, Turnabout Memories. How did I get into this mess? Why? Why did I do that? That girl. You shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying! Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that! It wasn't me! I didn't... I didn't do it! My baby! My Feeny! He's so little! 5 years earlier, Mia Fey's second trial. Phew! It's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Oh, Mr. Grossberg. Good morning. Ah, Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know. What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me. I'm relaxed. Let go of my labels. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I, Marvin Grossberg, am at your service.
Actually, this is my second time in court.
Still, you surprised me. What with your earnest request last night? Let me handle this case, you suddenly said. And quite forcefully, too.
I just found out yesterday. About the case, I mean.
What? And you've already learned all the relevant facts?
Well, about that, you see, I mean, of course I have. I think.
Oh dear. In any case, don't let our client see you so nervous. You see, the poor young man is in the pink sweater. Oh, you see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there. He's our client.
Yeah, he's so cute. Good morning there, everybody. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia.
I just want to say, I'll give it all I've got. Yup, it'll be fine, no prob.
Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Rye?
Actually, it's right. Like the Flying Brothers. People screw it up all the time.
Feeny, he's baby, he's so little, look at him.
And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. My doc said this way, I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says.
Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you're truly innocent, I promise I'll save you.
Please let go of my shirt.
That's right. He's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly, I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. It's been 1 year since then, and well, here I am again. But this time, I'm going to win. For my client, and for myself.
Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Oh, his hair! I forgot he looked like this. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it?
Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem?
I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense.
Yes. Well, you see...
Why'd you make him sound like Yoda? If you hear his objection, you'll understand. Looks like I could shift into tribe with this hair, for real.
Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency.
Emergency? But isn't that him standing there, right next to you?
Yes, well...
You're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this?
Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think.
Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It'll be all over soon.
What was that all about? Is he trying to trash talk me? I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question.
Sorry, Mr. Payne, can I borrow your pompadour? I need a parallel park. You know, at least it goes away someday.
The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was a fourth-year student studying pharmacology.
Sounds like he was a very bright young man.
Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime.
Payne got Riz. He definitely has something.
Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body. And the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway. They then called the police.
Big Pharma did it. Solved the case. Yes, good job.
That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo into the record as evidence.
Alright.
By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death.
An unusual death?
What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question.
Huh?
A simple question, I thought, might loosen you up a bit. I'm a genteel man, if you will.
A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of.
A perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause. Go on.
Please say you know at least this much. I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file. My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Now see here.
The details of this case are filed under the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you?
The court record. I think I can see that by pressing tab. Thank you for that, Mia.
All of the weapons we need can be found in the court record.
Ain't no way she didn't read the record. She is not doing well today. Date and time, death, April 9th at 3 p.m. Cause of death was a fatal electric shock. He's so wide, he should be called Mr. Fridgeberg. He is built like a fridge, it's true.
Take a good hard look at the data there, and think carefully before you answer me, my dear.
Yes, sir. I'll do just that. I've got to stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. I just pressed tab here.
Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death?
Asphyxiation, electrocution, and hypothermia. Amazing.
According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock.
In other words, electrocution.
Electrocution? But how could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new, super powerful stun gun, perhaps? The answer to that will become crystal clear as the trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there is one more vital issue.
What's that?
Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Bad blood?
They died in water, otherwise known as drowning. This is true. I think... Oh, I guess there's no water here. So close yet so far, but yes. Looks like one of those door stoppers that go doing when you smack it. Oh my gosh, yes. That's so true. What do you mean?
Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this.
I really don't like this guy's smug attitude.
Winston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. Is he, though? They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know. Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence. Evidence? No need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need, and then shove it in the old Greybeard's face.
Yes, sir. Into old Greybeard's face.
Mr. Grossberg. Try to set a better example for the young lady.
Yeah, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are as well.
Time to go look at the profiles. Marvin Grossberg, age 61, my superior and the head of Grossberg Law Offices. Phoenix Wright, age 21, my client, a third-year art student at Ivy University. He currently has a cold. Now, Doug Swallow, age 22, the victim. He was a fourth-year pharmacology student at Ivy University. Dahlia Hawthorne, age 20, Phoenix Wright's girlfriend, dated the victim Doug Swallow up until 8 months ago. Winston Payne, age 49, the prosecutor for this trial, a veteran lawyer with a little too much confidence. Interesting. You can toggle between profiles and evidence with tab, so be sure to go over it all. Now then, let's see what you've got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim? The cause? Her.
The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here.
Hawthorne, is it? Very good, Miss Fay. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she had some part to play in this story. He's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness. If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Fay?
It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection.
Very well. Call Feeney to the stand. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand.
He's so cute.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Oh, yes. My name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now, I guess I'm a suspect.
No, it means what you did before you were arrested.
Ah! Achoo! 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 I was a university student.
Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected in the death of your fellow student, Doug Swallow.
But I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you I was. Achoo! Achoo! Achoo!
Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his cold to the rest of us? It seems the witness has something he wants to say. Well then, Mr. Wright. Please tell us about your relation to the victim.
Right away, Your Honor.
The victim and I.
I admit I was there. But I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. British wannabe? Phoenix?
I see. So you hardly knew the victim.
Right. Like I said, I'm not a killer. Phew. Looks like the judge understands.
You're being naive, you know. Too naive.
Huh?
It seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady.
And that would be...
This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination.
Cross-examination?
He's right. It is the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions.
Contradictions?
If a witness is lying, their statements will conflict with the court record.
But Mr. Wright is my client.
Even if he is your client, in court, all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see.
What does he mean by that? Is he saying that testimony just now? That there was a lie? A contradiction?
Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Fay.
Please, Mr. Wright. Tell me you haven't been lying. Did she not go to law school? Is she dumb? Yeah, probably, honestly. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? It's either that or she's so nervous that she's forgotten everything she's learned, but this is crazy. Hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right! I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Well, Mr. Wright? No, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear.
Mr. Wright, I'll give you an opportunity to revise your testimony.
Got him. For real? This is so sad.
You knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe.
Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean. Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. Where? Where, Phoenix? Where? That's why. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? It's true! Cross my heart! I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night.
May I ask you something, Miss Fay?
Yes, Your Honor. What is it now?
Who is this person anyway? This Union Jack fellow? Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag. Oh, I see. So you mean like the Stars and Stripes, right? As usual, Your Honor. Your insight astounds me.
Hey, something just occurred to me. Why is everyone dumb? Trial number 1, everyone has no brain cells. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now?
Mia, there's a contradiction here.
Mr. Grossberg.
Quickly now, show that boy you mean business. With evidence, I mean.
Okay, Mia. Check the court record carefully.
Well, my dear, do you think you can manage on your own from this point?
I can handle it myself. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I could do it. I can handle this myself.
You must have tried to bite off more than you can chew, Mia.
I'll be fine. I know what I have to do.
Remember, you can always press me to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof.
Okay, Mia. One more time, from the very beginning of his testimony. Okay. Present photo. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. He was right there on his back.
Miss Fay, is there some point to this line of questioning?
Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back.
Hey! Wait a minute! He's wearing a leather jacket! The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing.
I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you?
You'd have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket.
Yeah, Phoenix, what's going on? Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me.
Please forgive me. What?
No, my baby.
Mia, you've made our client cry.
Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong.
That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime.
Uh-oh. Did I go too far?
By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it?
Yeah, I took some, but...
Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand? Called Cold Killer X?
Yeah, that's right.
It kills colds good.
Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X?
Sir? Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now?
Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. He lost it? Does this even have anything to do with the case?
Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now?
Huh?
Your Honor, I'd like you to take another look at I'd like you to take a look at another photo from the crime scene. What is this? In the victim's head. It's Cold Killer X.
Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it.
What?
Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright, and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright. Order in the court. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence. Very well. The court will accept them into the record.
The victim's watch stopped at the time of death. Found clutched in the victim's hand, covered in Wright's fingerprints. What time does it say? That's 12, so it's 3? A little after 3? Yeah, okay.
Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken.
Broken?
Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright?
3:05-ish, yeah.
Do you have some kind of explanation for all of this?
Oh. This is really bad.
Oh, my buttocks. My poor, poor hemorrhoids.
What really happened? The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3 we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I'd been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident.
Mr. Wright, that is completely different from the testimony you gave previously. Achoo! Achoo! Achoo!
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth.
You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible.
Miss Bay, please begin your cross-examination. Oh, please, Mr. Wright. Don't tell any more lies. He's cooking himself. He really is. He's not good at this. Okay. Let's press everything here. Had you ever met the victim before then? No! Never! But that day, he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly.
And this Dolly person is...
My, it's kind of embarrassing. She's my, sweetheart.
What? What was that for, Mia?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden.
Dolly Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. So it was one of those nasty love triangles, I see.
Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time.
You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct?
Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IBU.
An alchemist? I see.
I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity.
Oh, how fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man.
What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for some more details. About the pharmacology department. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right! And they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere. High-voltage cables. Yeah. There were electrical poles set up all around the building. High-voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally. I think we're getting somewhere. So what was it you were talking about? You know? That maybe we should hang out again sometime. Hang out again sometime? I wish that were true. Boy, So you say you went back? Yeah. That's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right. I was. Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. Boy. Achoo! Achoo! Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of the year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals. So I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. That's for sure, facts. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest! Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Youch! Why did you punch me in the jaw? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl. However, there is one mystery that still remains. There is, Your Honor. How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? Well, that is... You're correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. I mean, there's an umbrella right there. But I don't know if that's what they want. We'll try it. Your Honor. Yes, Miss Fay? I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve this mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That would be most impressive. Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that. Actually, I'd totally forgotten about that. Girl! Now then, Miss Fay, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. This is the... Yep, okay. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well.
What? There's nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Faye, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon?
I mean, surely the plug. Well, naturally, it's right here, or not plug, the wire.
That's... What is that?
A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard? The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere.
So then, the high voltage cable.
Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation.
That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, I believe some praise is in order.
Don't toy with me, old man.
Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high-voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant. Achoo! Which is certainly true. Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish Mr. Wright was the murderer. You do? Well, what is it? His fingerprints. Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well.
You mean...
Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand. What? I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable.
That's crazy.
Order, order, order. That is enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination.
Stick a fork in us, we're done. Mr. Grossberg.
My hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him.
No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent.
No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt.
Your Honor.
This time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case.
Hold it is right. How dare you?
Do you have something further to add, Miss Faye?
Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Faye. No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you, and I'll represent you to the very end.
We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything.
Wait a minute! Mr. Wright, I'll tell you what really happened.
I've already told you, Mr. Wright. There's no need for further.
I did it.
I admit it.
I pushed him. It's my fault.
My fault that Doug Swallow is dead.
That girl. You shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news.
You're lying.
Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl.
Stop it. Don't talk about her like that.
The dramatic fall is crazy.
Why are you sweating, Pain? What you just said. Was that the truth?
Yes, I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure.
Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are.
Please! Please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim.
Feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake.
When I pushed the victim. That guy. He was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. Ace Attorney Harlem Shake reference, for real. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back. But he was just lying there, dead. Disappointment. So sad. It's dating itself. My cat is lying across my desk. Cute. Give her pats from me.
Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock. And that, as they say, is that. Simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling.
She's in your way, oh no! Can you move her?
But from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted.
A nuisance? No! Surely not. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. She purrs. Cute. If there'd been something like that, even I would have noticed it. That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. Is that how you spell doofus? I always thought it was double O in the front.
Miss Faye, let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that?
Yeah, that's how I thought it was spelled. Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that'll prove it. How to spell doofus. Give me the tea. So what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a bad girl.
Is that all?
Yup.
Well, Miss Fay, you heard him yourself.
Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I just... Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy. He just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. Light, gentle shove, huh? And when you did that, there was no severed cable anywhere to be seen? Right! There was nothing like that at all.
What is it possible that you merely overlooked it?
Well, I guess it's possible. What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like cheap asphalt.
I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony, witness.
I heard some kind of loud noise. Okay. A loud noise. And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. You said your predicament in DMs. I will check it later. It was like, snap! You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. His spine.
Clearly, Your Honor. It was the sound of the victim being electrocuted.
You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Ask for more details. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Aha! Could it have been... Yes? Could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard.
An umbrella, huh? Did that umbrella belong to the victim?
Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella. Cheap and frail, kind of like the owner.
Oh my gosh.
Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone.
Miss Fay. What do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now?
Yes, sir. Well, of course it's important. This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony.
Ha! How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony.
After I shoved him, he fell on top of this cheap umbrella. Okay. Ah. He is not on top of his cheap umbrella. you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on. If I'd mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier.
What do you mean by that?
Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole.
You're absolutely right.
The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive.
Order, order, order. The victim, he moved. Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where's it now? Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want it presented as evidence immediately. Umbrella owned by the victim, found broken near an electrical pole at the crime scene. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind.
He was on top of it, bro. What are you talking about? According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind.
But I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial. But as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment. No!
That's right.
I must say, I still find it hard to believe. A huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony.
Phoenix's testimony. The victim fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened.
Well done, Mia. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. Afraid I don't follow what you're saying.
Let me guess. You have another witness.
Exactly. And this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible. Well, who is this witness? Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly? I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place.
What? That's right, she was there.
I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear.
Yas, Queen. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this.
You can't be serious. Mia, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah, so I guess I could start to relax then. Huh. What a roller coaster of a case. It's crazy, and it's just the beginning.
Relax, my boy. You can't be serious after hiding such important facts.
But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will. Oh, Phoenix. Why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why! The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure! No problem! Dolly and I, we first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer. On the side. Anyway, how could you be a lawyer on the side? What does that mean, Phoenix? One day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. She'd been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said, "I want you to carry this." So she gave it to you as a present. I see. This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, all right. It makes me so happy. I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. Dahlia's present, a small bottle necklace given to Wright on the day they met. He shows it to everyone. Anyway. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating. Yeah. She's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl, asking for a present back like that. By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne, 8 months ago. Just popping in to say you noticed the image. Oh yeah, I couldn't change the thumbnail because I don't have one for Ace Attorney at the moment. Thank you for letting me know, though. I'll change it after the stream ends. Also, welcome. How are you doing? It wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you... This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this? A newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. Murder? What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. Happy National Hamburger Day, and it's also World Hunger Day. Huh. What an interesting double holiday. I'm glad to hear you're doing alright, though. Thank you so much for dropping by. I appreciate it. I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there's some connection between these two cases. Am I correct? An article from August 28th, almost 8 months ago. I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself. Yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look in the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find. Thank you. I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, looks like the recess is about over. We better all get moving. I guess so. Our recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. We're gonna try to finish the first trial, and then if we have time later, we will draw, and if not, that's okay. Because I have lunch plans. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness.
This next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand.
It's her. What's with this stiff silence?
My long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit that you radiate a glow of complete sincerity.
I can't believe he actually said that. She's a liar.
Oh, now then, witness. Could you please state your full name? Don't worry, sweetie. There's no need to be nervous. If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them right down to size. And I will bash them with my gavel.
Congrats on 80 subs. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You're all so nice. I almost feel right at home.
It was nothing.
If we may move on, what is your full name and occupation? My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
The honor is all mine. No, the honor is all mine.
Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Sir?
Is there something I can help you with? You just go on and say whatever's on your mind.
I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake. Beanie wouldn't kill anyone, I just know it.
Yes. I can see why you'd say that.
She's going to be a tough witness, all right. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger.
Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please.
What I witnessed. Alright, girl, lie to me. I'd been planning to go back to Feenie's place after class was over. Beanie and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little sleepy, but that's normal. How about you? How are you doing, Kimono? That's when Feeny noticed that I was there. I went to go and find some other students, and they called the authorities.
I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong.
That's right, Phoenix didn't do anything wrong. She's still lying.
Young lady!
Need to stay up late for something and have a bit EPRE. Oh no! Can you get something to wake you up? Maybe like munch on something? I don't know. I hope you can stay awake though. Good luck.
As old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please tell us the truth.
But I would never. That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue. You have iron tablets, but I don't think you're meant to take them late. Oh, I see. No snacks or anything?
What do you mean by that?
Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies. You haven't changed a bit, Mia Fey.
What is this? So, you two are acquainted?
Yes, we've met before, once.
In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours.
It's good to see you again, Madam Fey.
Madam? I'm no one's grandma yet, girlie.
What I witnessed. Okay. Beanie and Dougie were talking behind the building. So who is this Dougie person? Oh, I'm sorry. Doug Swallow. We were dating until about 8 months ago. So what were Dougie, Mr. Swallow and Mr. Wright talking about anyway? You didn't get a notif? Oh no! Is my notification bot not working again? Grr. I think usually it takes like 5-10 minutes for it to come up. Yeah, so annoying. Hi Gray, how are you? How could you be so mean? I would never eavesdrop. I wasn't raised to be so rude and unrefined.
That's right, Miss Faye. Don't drag the witness down to your level.
Why am I being demonized here?
Please, go on. What did you see next?
Using our fight now, fair enough. I hope the motivation carries. Our fight is notorious for killing it, so at least for me. But I'm glad you're motivated. I hope to be motivated too, but I want to finish our collab first. I started lining it. So, if we're lucky, maybe we can work on it a little today. Working on something for Abby. Ooh. Can't wait to see it.
Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own?
Yes.
In other words, the defendant never touched the victim. Is that right?
I was watching the whole time. Feeny never did a thing to Dougie.
I pressed her for no good reason. I just know the judge will get angry with me.
So what should I do about her testimony just now? To contradict... Do I have evidence that she pushed? That he was pushed? I don't have any... I mean, I have Cold Killer X, but like... I don't know! Show contradiction.
Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we?
What? I would never.
Miss Faye, I will not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting. Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job.
Now then, Miss Hawthorne.
The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It's already been shown that Mr. Wright did in fact push the victim.
What?
There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth. There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw.
Yes, Your Honor. I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony.
Looks like we're finally getting somewhere.
Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie.
Why? You didn't see it.
Well, I saw the moment when Dougie fell to the ground.
And at that time, there was only the two of them at the scene. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the victim, Doug Swallow.
Yes, that's right.
So then, what did it look like they were doing to you?
I thought they were having a nice, friendly afternoon conversation.
Oh, give me a break.
That's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all?
No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Mr. Judge. Now, please proceed with your testimony.
Okay, I think that's the one where we need to... I didn't hear anything unusual. This.
Objection! Ha! You say you didn't hear anything unusual. Is that correct?
Yes. That's why I was very relaxed, looking at the scenery around me.
That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise.
He said that?
If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well?
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do it to Kimono, guys. Go like and subscribe to Kimono.
Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable.
But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. May I have a moment to answer?
By all means.
I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on, and I was listening to music at the time.
Headphones? You mean that both of your ears were covered?
Might be working on something for someone else as well. Yeah, let's go! I'm looking forward to it. Let me know when it's done. Or if you post it, just link it to me. The rain was just beginning to let up, but it seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end just yet. So the sky continued to flash and rumble. Thunder and lightning, huh? Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder. So I put my headphones on to block it out.
Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony after all.
Wait a sec, Mia. That testimony just now. She said something that could totally change this whole case. That there was lightning? Because my guy was holding an umbrella. Maybe? Maybe? I don't believe she's lying. I don't believe her she's lying. You're absolutely right. Also, hi Digivixen, welcome. How are you? Your Honor, there's a problem with the witness's testimony.
What do you mean?
Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct?
Yes. What about it?
Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere, am I right?
Now's not the time for a science lesson, Miss Fey.
Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning?
Oh, I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me.
Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway? This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. But that very premise itself is mistaken. Okay, but you're out of TP. Oh no, I hope you can restock it soon. That's not good. I'm glad to hear that everything else is going okay, though. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was, in fact, the victim of a stray bolt.
It appears the defense may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental?
All right, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not guilty now if you don't...
I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Fey.
Judge equals no thoughts, head empty. Constantly. Constantly. Every time. Huh?
I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on that day at that location. What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case. Evidence, Mr. Payne? Well, what is this evidence? This affidavit. And who is this affidavit from? The pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day. Allow me to read out to the court the testimony of the pharmacology students. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden around 3 p.m. that day. Was it a blackout? All of the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor.
Me at Payne saying he's no fool. Well, are you sure about that? It's true, it's true, it's true. That's why he's the beginner prosecutor for every single case. So you're saying the equipment lost power because...
Precisely. They lost power because of the severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m., which fits the time of death listed in the autopsy report. Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching that severed electrical cable. According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future. I see. Apparently, the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break. Well, doesn't that sound like a hazard? However, there is one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been bumped into, correct? Well, I suppose you could say that. Miss Fay, do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable? This sad, withering pompadour hair. It is very sad, but it will go away soon. For better or for worse. Your Honor. I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try and regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion. Well, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? Umbrella, maybe? Oh, they won't let me save. No. Or is it just Doug? Maybe it's just Doug. Just fell into it. Oh, guess not. This is it. This is why the cable snapped. Well, Your Honor. I believe that the only thing that has snapped is the mind of the defense. That was one of your best lines yet, Your Honor. Ouch, that was harsh. Please, Your Honor, give me one more chance. Oh, they're not taking away my life bar. Let's go. Is it this then? Why? Or what was it that caused the cable to break? The only things here are Dog and the umbrella. What do you want from me, game? Like, what do you want me to do? Present Dahlia? We don't have any evidence for that. Maybe the profile? Yeah, I mean, I submitted Doug, and that didn't work either. Who or what was it that caused the cable? Is it Phoenix? I don't know. I said Doug already. Okay. Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony. The defendant's testimony? He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct? Okay, but why does that mean Phoenix broke it? Doug was the one that bumped into... Okay. Okay. Yes, that sounds right. Wait! Are you saying that... The lab equipment lost power at 2:55 p.m., which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline. In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage. Yes, the prosecution also came to the same conclusion. And it was that very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted. Objection! I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne. What's that supposed to mean? Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right. The victim banged into that pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break. Well, makes sense. And then the victim was electrocuted. Sir? I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed cable in the foreground here. In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim. Order. Order in the court. The lamentations of the enemy. How I've longed to hear them. It's true. The defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could have done it. Mr. Judge, sir? May I say something? The Madam Attorney's explanation.
She said some things that are a little different than I remember them. What the? Please, just once more. May I please testify one last time? Please, Mr. Judge?
No. Of course it's all right. Just go right ahead and give your new testimony.
This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors. Girl! What I Witnessed Part 2. The truth is, Beanie pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. And Dougie tried his best to run away from him. But Feeny caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping, and Dougie being electrocuted. It all occurred in less than a minute. Girl, you don't... Excuse me? You said you didn't see him being shoved. What are you talking about?
So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away. That's when the defendant pushed him for the second time.
I'm so sorry, Feeny, but I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge?
Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fay, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
What do you mean? Miss Hawthorne, previously in your testimony, you said the following. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. I know. I'm sorry. I wanted to protect Feeny. So that's why you basically lied to the court. I was a bad girl, I know. Mr. Judge?
Yes?
Would you please forgive little old me? Of course he won't. What you did is called perjury.
Oh, come on now. It was just a little old white lie. We'll forget it this time, but please be more careful from now on, all right?
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge.
The judge had better be more careful himself. A dark alley is friendlier than that girl.
You're saying that you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole. I know he doesn't look it, but Feeny can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be.
Oh, really?
But I never imagined that would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeny really is scary when he gets mad.
Yes, he sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed.
What are you... No!
So let me get this straight. You were happily listening to music on your headphones while you watched this scene unfold. Miss Fay, I'll have to ask you to stop badgering this witness.
I wasn't happy. I was so scared that I couldn't even move. All I could do was stand there and cheer them on. Cheer them on? Girl! Cheer them on? What do you mean by that? Well, I wish the best for them both, that they would each give the fight their all.
That's very sweet of you to be so supportive. And what happened after that?
Girl! That doesn't sound quite right. There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, were there also prints found on the back of his leather jacket?
Well, no, there weren't.
Madam Fay, may I suggest that you listen a little more carefully? I said that he crashed into him from behind, right? My Feeny wouldn't leave any prints behind in that case, would he? Did you actually witness the moment the victim was electrocuted? I'm sorry. I didn't actually see it. I turned my eyes away.
That's understandable. Yes, indeed. It would have been a horrific sight for anyone to behold.
If I don't figure out the contradiction here, it's all over. She didn't have much time to come up with her lie, so this is my best chance. There must be a hole in her testimony somewhere. Think, Mia. Feeny pushed him twice. The first time was into the pool, that's when the cable broke, and Dougie tried his best to run away, but Feeny caught up and crashed into the cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted all occurred in less than a minute. 2:55, victim's watch stopped at the time of death, and it stopped... Ooh, okay. Maybe this then. I'm gonna... Scum saving time. And then we'll present the time.
Objection!
Ha-ha! That's enough, witness. I'm afraid I don't understand. You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture? Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feeny likes to take for his cold. It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m. Yes, and your point is, Miss Fay? My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping? Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p.m. Yeah! Would you care to explain to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? What exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow. Order in the court. Nonsense. The real murderer. Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for. Wow, I'm struggling today.
Then who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it?
There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene. Was there a window of opportunity for the real killer? Miss Fay, is the defense ready to indict someone as this real killer? I still don't know how to say that word. Indict or indict? It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor. We're ready. Very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Fay. Now then, Miss Fay, let's have it. Who is the real killer? Well, there can only be one. Leave. It could only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne. What? How did you...
The defense is grasping at straws.
10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing that whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you. Order. Miss Fay. What? I mean, why? That is to say... Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands. How could you say something so mean, Madam Fay? I didn't do anything. Miss Fay, this is a very serious charge, Oh, there he is. Your Honor, please, I have something I want to say.
You? What is it?
Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record. What the? Are you daft? You're totally wrong, Miss Fay. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that. Except she did, Phoenix.
Mr. Wright, get back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man.
Leave my Dolly alone. That boy. Oh, that boy. He's gotten himself in way over his head. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back. It seems I've arrived just in the nick of time. I found the police report on that incident in your newspaper clipping. Aha! Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Let's go. What does it say? Incident overview. Location District Courthouse Cafeteria. Date and time August 27th, 4 p.m. Victim Diego Armando, age 28. Occupation lawyer. Suspect Dahlia Hawthorne, age 19. Armando ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity or on the suspect's person. It's unclear how the poison entered the victim's coffee cup. Hello, Assault Jaeger. Welcome. How are you? Welcome, welcome.
Better take a good look at it. It, details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Now, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, really, Your Honor, I...
May I interrupt you for just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor?
Don't you worry, my dear. I have the situation well in hand. That is, go right ahead.
Madam Faye, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Dougie?
Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright.
You should let me handle this. Sorry. Please go ahead.
How could you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion that I would try to frame him is ludicrous. This is all just too much for poor little me to bear.
The girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be.
The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then, that same day, the two of them accidentally met. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Further testimony? What about?
About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What could that possibly have to do with this case?
The witness claims that she has no reason to frame the defendant. Am I correct? Well, I have evidence that suggests that she, in fact, had a very good reason.
Very well. The court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying on for just a bit longer?
Of course not, Mr. Judge.
Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne. How I Met My Feeny.
I first met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day.
We're so lovey-wovey, we literally make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think. Mr. Wright, do that again and you will be held in contempt of court.
And now we enter the final act of our little drama.
As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her.
I will go get her. We're getting her. The courthouse reading room. That's a strange place to meet the love of your life. That's not true, Madam Faye. After all, Feeny was not only an art student, but he was also planning on becoming a lawyer. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room?
This line of questioning is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with our murder case.
Miss Faye, I'm warning you. This has nothing to do with Mr. Swallow's case.
I have to remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. I'd better tread carefully.
No. We want this.
Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please ask her to continue on with her testimony.
Very well. Young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What were you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room?
If it pleases Your Honor, the answer is simply this.
I come to the courthouse to do some research for a paper I was writing. Is that so? Is that so?
Armando, ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Uh-huh. The suspect being Dahlia Hawthorne?
Objection!
That's what I thought. Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason?
Objection! What is the meaning of this cocky smile on your face, Miss Fay?
8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy.
Another tragedy?
You mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned? The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report. And that name is Dahlia Hawthorne.
What? Dahlia Hawthorne?
Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago.
Order. This is unbelievable.
It's true then. The loveliest rose can hide the cruelest of thorns.
Miss Fay, that's not fair. You can't slander my witness with an unrelated case. Winston Fay will not.
Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking.
Pardon me. Go right ahead.
It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me.
Express some interest, huh?
Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago.
I see.
Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. Now I've just got to stay on the offensive.
Well done, Mia. Ooh, you've really lit a fire in my heart. And my buttocks. I can hardly tell which is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoids.
Sir? The poisoning. I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that's lethal at just 2 teaspoons. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. You see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that. I don't know if I could get into Ace Attorney, but I'll have to try it soon and play for a day's worth. It's really good. I really love it. It's probably my favorite game series, and I highly recommend it if you like mystery stuff. Let me know if you try and enjoy it, though. Or even if you just try it.
So that's what happened here 8 months ago. However, as soon as you've heard the witness's testimony, she had nothing to... As you've heard from the witness's testimony, she had nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne. But I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today. And I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination.
What the... Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger? Mia, you're glowing with a true lawyer's aura, my dear. That proud posture and self-confidence. Absolutely smashing.
Yes, sir. Let's go. About how much liquid is 2 teaspoons?
Well, let me see. My bottle of eye drop says it's half a fluid ounce, which is equal to 3 teaspoons.
So it's about 2/3 of that amount, huh? The poison was found in the lawyer's mug of coffee. It must have been after I left the table. Someone must have quietly slipped it in there. A special kind of poison? How so? Well, I heard that it's almost impossible to detect.
Oh, where would something like that come from?
I'm sorry. All I know is what I overheard the policeman saying. They said something about using advanced chemical processes to purify it.
Chemical processes? Well, that's quite impressive. Most impressive.
The better question is, how did the criminal get something like that? What if I just presented... What if I presented something here? What if I just...
Objection!
You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison. I don't believe you. What?
In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab. Boyfriend? You mean the victim, Doug Swallow? That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you'll recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at Ivy University. Pharmacology? His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have obtained such a rare and special poison. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seemed you had access to such a poison after all. And then, it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was the one sitting at his very table. You! Order. Could it be? It's nothing but a baseless accusation. May I say something, Madame Faye? What is it, Miss Hawthorne? The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you would need some kind of container. Yes, that's true. I was searched immediately after the incident took place. Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down. But they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they? She's right. They even mentioned that in the report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something that small. Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you're saying that I threw the poison container away, I think you need to show some kind of proof. Proof? She got me good with that. I know what it is, though. Provide some evidence, or I'll have to disallow this line of questioning, Miss Faye. Unless we can come up with some evidence, we're going to lose this lead. The police conducted a full-body search of Dahlia and of the entire courthouse, and yet the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred. You're going to accuse the young lady of committing the murder. Where's the container of poison? Then where's the container the poison was carried in? What happened to it? Hey. You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched. Who is this person? Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course. So the defendant was this witness's accomplice? Of course not. She gave the poison to him, disguised as a present. What? But that's... That's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? It's really quite cute. So what about it? What does it mean, Miss Faye? The day that the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago, August 27th, the very same day as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away. What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison in here? No, there's no longer any poison in the bottle. However, I'm certain that if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount. No! Order in the court.
Objection!
On behalf of Dolly, I object. Mr. Wright, control yourself. I won't let you bully her like this. Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat. Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her? Why? Because I'm madly in love with her. Madly in love. I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time. Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dahlia Hawthorne want to date you anyway? That's so mean. Well, I guess she must be madly in love with me too. Mr. Wright, please, open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. The real reason that Dahlia Hawthorne is dating you is... because of that necklace? Yeah, probably. Dahlia Hawthorne was not and isn't...
was not and is not madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is that bottle necklace you love to wear around your neck. My necklace? Back there in the waiting room. You said it yourself. Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl, asking for a present back like that. For Dahlia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back. You're lying! But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why she... I don't believe you. No! That's a lie!
Mia, are you alright?
The defendant, he's getting away!
Babe, hurry, after him! Mia, are you alright?
Yes, I think so.
That boy, he went completely insane.
Where's Mr. Wright?
Looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be back soon enough.
Thank goodness. Oh no!
What is it?
The bottle necklace. Miss Hawthorne's present. It's gone.
What? That's terrible.
Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me.
Foolish boy. That's the only thing that could have saved him. What in the places are we going to do now? Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in this history of the history of this court.
I'm sorry.
I'm afraid that your apology is not enough.
Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace? Forgive me, I'm sorry. It's okay, just give it back the necklace. I ate it. You what?
You ate it.
It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it into little bits first. But yeah. What the?
What? What is he doing now?
Your Honor, you've got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright, Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? The bottle you swallowed may have had some poison left in it.
The defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly, that bottle did not contain a deadly poison.
How could you be so sure?
I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination.
So it would seem. Guys, did we forget 2 tablespoons? No, there must be some mistake. The bottle must not have had any poison left in it. Either that or the poison must have lost its potency.
It's all right, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney could do. And it's heartwarming to see that you place this much faith in Mr. Wright. That's how it is for us on the prosecution side, too. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life.
That is the worst idea ever, Payne.
Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong. That's enough. Fortunately, Miss Fay, I cannot accept your explanation of the events.
Why?
This may seem impossible for a beginner like you to understand, but in a court of law, evidence is everything.
I like mystery, but I don't like court law stuff. Oh, really? Well, if it makes it any better, this game is just silly. It's like hardly serious at all. Even after I prove so much, is she going to get away with everything?
Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I'd like to proceed with the trial.
Mr. Wright! I'm sorry, Miss Faye. It totally slipped my mind. I like comedic stuff, but even I get impatient of court law stuff. That's fair. I mean, it might not be the game for you, and that's okay too. But I still think it's worth giving it a shot. But if you don't want to play it yourself, I have playthroughs of games 1 and 2. This is game 3. And you could always find other playthroughs too. I'm sure there's tons of them on YouTube. If you want to just watch through them, you know, that's totally valid too. I'm really, really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say? There's something I forgot to tell you.
What is it?
That day, the day I met Doug Swallow. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying! Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Last night, someone stole some poison from our lab. Poison? The same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time too. It could only have been her. That girl is a thief. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that. Is it true? Did he really say that?
That's ridiculous.
There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him. What? She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but I'm sorry, Dolly.
You're wrong. Isn't the defendant is?
Miss Faye, you tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent. No, she ain't. So Dahlia stole poison 8 months ago too, huh? If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony, and there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doug Swallow. Night before. Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone. Miss Faye. You're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this. Mia, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. There's something that she desperately wanted to get back. Therefore, exactly who is Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill? My boy, my baby son. There was one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way, and that person was Mr. Phoenix Wright. Me?
Preposterous. After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered.
Well, it's true that that's how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was, in fact, you, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that it could be.
But how could it be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love.
Poor Mr. Wright. This must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice. I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. That's right. The bottle necklace. That's all she cared about. But even so, why? Why would she go so far as to murder him? 8 months ago, just after the fall of the attorney in the basement cafeteria, Dahlia Hawthorne could think of only one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No! It can't be. It was a pretty good move she made, too. The evidence was missing for a long time. But there was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met.
mean, that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright? Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence. Be true. Oh, Phoenix. Feeny. What a joke you are. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I've even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me. Miss Hawthorne, it appears that we're nearing the end of this trial. Fine. I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say. You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne. We'll see about that. But first, where's your evidence? It seems your sniveling little crybaby of a client has eaten the bottle as a snack. Ark? Well, hey, old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with a dumb look on your face? Miss Hawthorne, what happened to you? Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge? With absolutely no proof, you treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now if you don't mind. But we're not finished. Fine. Then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already. Where are you going? I can't let her get away this time. Stop, Nia. If you keep on pushing without any evidence, you could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer. The ultimate price? You'd be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid. No! You'd better think over carefully, Miss Fay. Or should I say, Miss Gray? Well, Miss Fay, can you provide evidence that would establish her guilt once and for all? I mess up here. My career as a lawyer is over. To be honest, at this point, I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof. Impossible! You can't possibly! Stupid woman. It's the opinion of the court that there's already been enough discussion. I will only allow one piece of evidence to be presented. Just one? If you are unable to establish her guilt, then I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright. I understand, Your Honor. I could just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets the chance to soar. She was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there. Well then, Miss Fay, please present your evidence. Show to this court irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne is planning to poison Mr. Wright. Take that! Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that'll prove her guilt once and for all. Cold Killer X. Hades Wright's beloved cold medicine. Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold? If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned. What? Remember what the defendant said in his testimony? But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X. Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some. Really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Doug Swallow, that was holding the medicine. I'm from the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence? Oh? What are you talking about? 8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into the reading room. Someone she had accidentally run into in the reading room. My client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That's when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poison bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright. I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant. Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and the victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. That's when she realized, I can't allow Doug Swallow to live. She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying the bottle of poison cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they search me like they did 8 months ago?
8 months ago?
Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way she did back then. She had someone else hold it. In this case, Doug Swallow. Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? This stupid woman. She's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar. Right, Mr. Prosecutor?
Huh? Yes, that's exactly right. Just pure inspiration.
I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne? This cold medicine. I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some? Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of this medicine right now. Mia Fey! Mia Fey! Do you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fey? That's just fine. For the time being, victory is yours. For the time being. Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge, I'll see you later too, okay?
Huh? Yes.
I'm going to go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best. Phew! It's finally all over.
I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support their outrageous claim. Even so, your witness seems to have accepted it. Don't care. I'm Winston Payne. And I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer has said.
Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this.
Yes?
Would you care to try this cold medicine?
What?
Just a little earlier, I could have sworn you said. There, it's all right.
For example, I would trust this witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life.
So, if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right?
You see, yes.
And here comes the backpedal. Come on, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life? It's gone. The pompadour is gone.
Mr. Payne, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Papers for her immediate arrest.
Tragic, but not surprising. Have you heard of Life is Strange? I have not. What is that? No, my gear shifted. I'll never rate stick shift now. Pain. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning. Don't lie. Just admit you were wrong. By the way, Miss Faye. Yes, Your Honor? Is it just me? Did you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne seem to know each other? Your Honor, whether we did or not has no bearing on this case. Very well. Mr. Payne, this can't be happening. It's a nightmare. It's like losing to my daughter.
You're married?
It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say? It can't be true. My dear Dolly! Very well then. I believe I'm ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Not guilty! Let's go! Yes! This court is adjourned. It's about high school drama, but the friend you have is very manipulative despite you're supposed to like the friend. She keeps being stubborn and threatening. So often when it gets... Oh, ha! Interesting. Is that like a show? Or is it a game? Ah. Mia, you were wonderful in there. Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg. I heard the verdict. I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius. Mr. Grossberg, do you, maybe think you could stop talking about them? It's rather rude. Anyway, this case has really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with a client? Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this. Why does he talk about his butt so much? It's like a hyperfixation of his or something. Mr. Wright, congratulations! It's a game, but has pretty bad writing. Oh no! That is pain. Thanks. You know, I was thinking, play the game and you'll see what I mean. Is it on Steam? Is it free? Is I guess what I should be asking. I don't want to pay for a bad game. Go on. The dolly that I saw up there on the witness stand. I don't think that was really her. What? No, it's not free now. Maybe I'll watch a playthrough then. Yeah, the dolly I know could never have said those kinds of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, fake or something. Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake. When you have a game slot open, we can spin the wheel again. We definitely can. That is an option. Yeah, you're right. It's probably for the best. Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little. But out of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up. It's not free. Watch the cutscenes and you'll see what I mean. Gotcha. I can look it up later. Eek! What kind of company does this guy keep? Larry Butts is the answer. Right now, I'm studying to become a lawyer myself. That's what you keep saying. But I thought you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I am. There's a friend that I desperately want to help. And if I hurry, then I should be able to save him in time. I see. Say, Miss Faye. A lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right? Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself. But I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'll study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope we see each other again someday. Maybe even in court. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned and managed to save my friend. But Mia has passed on to a better place. One day Fire Emblem or Dragon Quest will get there. Yeah, for sure. I would like to play Dragon Quest eventually, since you seem to like it so much. I want to try it. For me, this trial brings up a lot of painful memories.
but it also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again. Mia's gone now. Build your own party and name them all. Let's go! But even so, I can hear her in my mind. Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your client. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief. Unless you're Matt on guard. We don't believe Matt on guard. 5 long years. Something has made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that's a story for another day. The stolen turnabout. Okay, nice. And we do have some time, so we will be moving on to drawing now.